is a Paparoach, a fairly small one that we're going to be tying today. I tie these in larger sizes. The trout seem to enjoy a nice big dragonfly imitation, but these are for weed beds, intermediate lines, floating lines. I've had good success with them in the shallows, up against the edges of the dam or in shallow areas. This imitates a dragonfly nymph, very effective pattern for trout in all colors. I've tied them in black, brown, and this olive one is certainly my favorite. But very, very cool fly to fish for trout in KZN. We're going to lay down a little thread base, bit of deer belly hair for the bottom of the tail underneath the zonka, just so we don't get any wrapping of the zonka. Trim off these butt ends. Okay, there we go. Okay, then we're going to put in a little bit of lead wire, small section of lead wire on top of the shank, just to give it a bit of weight. Okay, so we got him right on top of the shank there. A little bit of glue just to keep him down. Make sure nothing moves, everything is nice and secure. We'll wait for that to dry while we prep the zonka. With the zonka, I just cut a small little triangle out the back end to give it a bit of taper on the tail. Get our thread to the back again. And we'll go in with our tail. Okay, about a body length. You want about a shank length in tail, so it's a good measurement to have about a shank length tail coming out the back. There we go. Okay, that's going to secure our zonka in. Let's put this eye in first. Back to the front of the hook here. We're going to secure our eyes. We'll just do counter wraps. I'll do 3 or 4 on one side, then turn the eyes slightly and do 3 or 4 on the other side. And then we'll just alternate a couple on either side to secure those eyes in, and then we'll just go in between them like that, just to get them nice and secure. And back to the base of the zonka. We're going to dub up now, starting off with a thin noodle, and we'll slowly work our way thicker to get a nice natural taper. Nice and thin. Okay, nice. There we go, dubbing on the thread. And we're just gonna make sure those wraps are touching all the way up the shank. Once we get closer to the head here, we'll go back on itself just to make it a little bit thicker towards the head, and then back to the eyes with the thread. And we'll bring our zonka over. Make sure your fibers are not trapped here. The tail, will just tease those out. There we go. Perfect. Nice. Just separate the zonka on the strip. Take a couple of wraps over that. There we go. Have a look. Make sure you're happy with it. And we'll trim off that zonka. We're done with that now. Okay. Now we're going to add our olive mallard feather. I usually strip the stem, just get all that down off the bottom of the feather. Makes it easier to work with. And I'm going to come in and sort of just judge. This is going to be the thorax of the paparoach or the dragonfly nymph, so we want to sort of tie over some of these feather fibers. So we'll have that like that on that first third of the body. We'll hold our feather down there nicely and strap over all of those individual feathers. That's it. We go nice little thorax. We'll tie that down nicely and trim off the excess here. Alright, then we're going to go in with our rubber legs, hairline, silly legs, barred green. We only need one of these. And I usually just fold them in half and sort of guess how long I want them to be. Could probably go with around a body length, and then we'll tie those in the front here. So we'll go with a body length on that. Cut that in half. And we'll go right in the middle of the city leg. We'll strap that guy right in the middle there. Maybe a little bit shorter in the front. We're going to trim these afterwards in any case. Just make sure they're sitting nicely. Okay, we just do these one at a time. A couple wraps over. Make sure that it's nice and level. You can pull that wherever you need it to be. That's both of our legs like that. We'll trim those up later. Then we're going to go in with the dubbing and dub around the bead eyes and in between the silly legs. Alrighty, same nice thin little dubbing noodle. We'll just add little bits as we go. We'll see how far this takes us. Go in the middle between the legs first. Just spread them out a little. And then we'll go over the dumbbells, staying behind the legs there. Just wrapping it nicely, building up that head. We'll put a tiny bit more around the head there. We're going to brush this out to give it a little bit more of a buggy look. So we'll go again, nice thin noodle. And we'll go back there. Right in just behind that eye. And over the dumbbells. And we should be good there. That's it. One little whip finish to finish them off. Do an extra one just for safety. And that's our paparoach. We'll brush them out when we cut them off here. Trim that up. Grab your dubbing brush and just brush out some of that dubbing in the head, just to make it a little bit more buggy, a little bit more real. We'll come into the bottom here, brush all those fibers out, just tease them out. That's it, make it look nice and buggy. Then we'll trim our silly legs to size. Theoretically, you want the front ones to be a little bit shorter than the back ones, so we'll go at about there. This you just judge by your eyes, just until it looks sort of right and they look a little bit even. I don't think it really matters that much for the fish. And that's it. That's our little paparoach. Little dross. Pretty much.